Okay, let's continue with example number 3. Now, my name is OVIYAN. Now, what we have saw in example 1 previously, it was, let me just get the platform here. Example 1, we tried to find the price using one yield, that is yield to maturity, one yield 4% in this case, the price is so much. But in example 2, we use the price to find the yield. So okay, we use the price to find the yield. So what is example 3 all about? Example 3 is about finding the value of the bond. So it's similar to example number 1, finding the price of the bond. But the only difference in example 3, it will be that you are given the annual spot yield. Annual spot yield based on the bond. This is the annual spot yield for a bond of this risk class. This is actually given in this example. In your exam, probably you will need to get it from the yield curve, the government yield curve, which is a specific particular year, 1 year or whatever. Then you need to add in with the spread. That's how you're going to do. We're going to see this in example number 5. We're going to see this in example number 5. But in this case, like we go to the future and we get the example 5 data here so that we can get the value of the bond. So in this example, we are given the annual spot yield curve for this risk class, This is not the government one. This is for this risk class. Basically, they have added, examiner have added the government, the yield plus the spread. Okay, government yield plus the spread. So this is assuming it's given. If it's not given, refer back to example 5 and come and view this again. You will understand better. So this is the yield of that risk class for this company, perhaps, okay, for this company that has rated. Now, what is it here? It's basically the same thing. The price equals to present value of future cash flows. Now, present value of future cash flows will be what's your cash flows? Well, the stream of interest payment that for investor perspective will be received, and one last redemption value at the end of the day. In this case, the bond that is redeemable in 4 years time at par, okay, face value 100, coupon is 5%. What is the price that you are going to do? This is going to be the yield that you are going to basically be given. So how much would you pay for this today? How much would you pay for this today? Now, it's something like this. It is something like this. Let's say I got 4 children. Yeah, let's say I have 4 child here. I don't have 4. Okay. Yeah, I have. Let's say I have 4 children, and my first child comes to me, my first daughter comes to me and says, "Daddy, I want to go to university and I need money next year. I need money next year. And what do I do?" So, okay, I say, fine, how much? I ask her, how much you want? She says, she's a nice girl. She says she only wants $5. Okay, I'm going to give you $5 end of the year. So what I did was I go to a bank, let's say I go to Citibank, and I invest some money enough today. So I invest a cash flow today, and I'm going to make sure end of the day I got $5. So what I asked the bank manager, how much interest will I get if I keep it for a year? He says you're going to get 3.5%. So basically, I work backwards to get the present value. So this is going to be, I'm going to invest, I'm going to discount it, okay, $5. I'm going to like kind of discount it for 1.035 power of 1. I'm going to get a value over here. This is discounting is going to take place. So this is the value I'm going to put in just for fun. Okay, let's just say for fun, the value based on my calculator here. Okay, let's take my calculator here. My calculator here shows it's $5 divided by 1.035 power of negative 1. Is that okay? Sorry, if you divide, you just have to power of 1, or in this case, if you want to multiply, then you have to put negative 1. I tell you what, let's stick to multiply, because that's what we're going to do in the CBE platform. So multiply by 1.035 to the power of negative 1. Let me just go backwards. Multiply by 1.035 power of negative 1. So I'm just going to keep it as simple. So the bank manager, or is it advising me to put in about this figure 4.83, okay, 4.83. So I'm going to invest 4.83 today, and 1 year later when my daughter goes to school, she's going to have $5 in the bank. So basically I gave her an ATM card, bank ATM card, and tell her this ATM card password will be activated end of the year, and you can go to the bank and you will have $5. How much I put in today? I bought this today. I bought this ATM card. I bought this bond today for $4.83. So what I do is my son comes and say, Daddy, I also going to school, but not now, not next year. I'm going to go in 2 years' time. I ask him how much you want. He says, I want $5. Fine. I go to HSBC and I invest for him in HSBC, and I'm going to ask the bank manager, how much interest do I get per annum? He says, you're going to get 4% per annum. You're going to keep it for 2 years. You get 4% per annum. 1.04 power of negative 2. So basically, I need to pay today to the banker to get that ATM card to be given to my son. And that password will be activated in year 2. Activated means the bank will give, the investment will give you $5 year 1 and year 2. That's what I'm trying to say with the bank activation. So I am going to go back to my calculator. Let's clear this one. Ouch. Let's get back my calculator. Okay. Sorry, let's get back my calculator. So I am going to put in how much today. So if it's going to be 1.04 to the power of negative 2. Don't worry, I'll show you how to do this in, where's negative? Okay, negative 2. Okay, negative 2. The amount that I'm going to put in is 4.62. 4.62. What I'm trying to say here is this is the present value of what you need to pay today to get this. And the return that you're getting for a year is 3.5%. And you need to pay 4.62 today to get $5 in 2 years' time. So annually, you're actually getting a 4% return per annum for 2 years period. Okay, so year 3 here. Let's say my daughter comes and says, Daddy, I want to go. I'm the 3rd child in the family. In 3 years' time, I'm going to school. I also want $5. So I go to, say, Bank of America, and I'm going to invest and find out how much is the interest rates for 3 years, redemption, how much I need $5 in end of 3 years. So banker advised me the interest that based on what I'm going to get is 4.7%. So I'm going to invest this today. How much do I put in today to get $5 in 3 years' time? And that's what we're going to look at it here. So we're going to take my calculator back. So we're going to press $5. So we're going to multiply by 1.047 to the power of -3 to the power of, well, I have to press -3. Okay, with the power of -3. It's going to be about 4.36. Is that okay? So this is going to be 4.36. That is the figure that I will invest today to get that year 3 $5. So something like that. So, and year 4, there's let's say my youngest son comes to me and says, Daddy, I want also some money to go to school. I ask him how much you want. He says, Daddy, I'm the last in the family, so I want $105, knowing there's a redemption value of $100 inside here. So what I did is I went to Standard Chartered, and I asked the banker, how much do I need to put in today so that my son can take out $105 end of the 4th year. So it is going to be at 5.5% return. They're going to give me 0.55 to the power of -4. So you work backwards. So you work. Later I put this in the CBE platform, how to do it. But I just want to get the idea of what the price means today. It's the return. The price is based on, this is the price that you are going to pay to get $5 in year 1. This is the price that you're going to pay to get $5 in year 2. This is the price you're going to pay to get $5 in year 3. And what is the price that you're going to pay today to get $105 in year 4? So you're going to multiply with 1, let me just use my keyboard, 0.55 to the power of -4. You're going to get this figure. So how much I need to pay today so that my youngest son can take out $105? Well, in this, what bank was it? Standard Chartered, I think, is $84.76. So I'm just going to put there $84.76. And what's going to happen now? This is going to be the price. This is going to be the price if you add up all these things. So let's say, for example, today I had a very busy day because I walked into 4 banks and I came out from this is Standard Chartered Bank. I came out very tired, exhausted. I walked into 4 banks. I'm having 4 ATM cards to be given away to my children. All right, and I invested so much to get $5. I invested so much. Then another friend of mine saw me and said, OVIYAN, why today you are very tired? I said, I went to the 4 bank and this is what happened. And he says, why are you suffering? Why are you suffering? Come to my bank. I'm a special bank. Let's take Maybank in Malaysia. Okay, this is Maybank in Malaysia, largest bank in Malaysia. He says, why you go all over the world and deposit the money? Okay, come to our local bank here, put the money, give me the sum of all this. Is that okay? Give me the sum of all this is $98. I did some rough calculation just now. 98.57. Just give me 98.57. Actually, to be truthful, I didn't do a rough calculation. I just picked at this answer here, 98.57. Okay, so you give me this money. I will take care of your children's pocket money, end of year 1, end of year 2, end of year 3, and I'll take care of these cash flows. I promise to give them all this, whatever cash flows they want. Just come and visit the bank at the respective time and you get it. Why did you go and wasted your time in 4 banks? This is what you need to pay today to get all these cash flows. And what's the return you are getting? Well, you're getting the first year's cash flow. Actually, you're getting 3.5% invest. This is something like compounding. You put 4.83, you wait for a year, you get compounded to 5%. You put 4.62, you invest for 2 years, you're getting actually 4% per annum. That's what it means here. I hope you understand this concept of price. The price equals to present value of future cash flows. These are the future cash flows, and this must be discounted. And this is not one yield, and it's given as 3.45% in this bank, 4% in that bank, 4.57% in this bank, and 5.5% in the Standard Chartered Bank. So basically, this is how we do it in this particular valuation. So this is very popular. This is very popular in your AFM paper. This method you have to know. Is that okay? It's just that when to know this method, you just have to make sure you get this from example number 5. You get this from example number 5. Is that okay? Later we will just have to make sure that you visit part 3, part 4, part 5 to see how to get this 3.54. And this is basically using, to fast forward, is basically the government yield, which is no risk, plus the spread, because your company or the investor is giving the money to a company that is risky. So they need to add in some spread to that thing and before they get the money. Okay, so this is what you have here. Valuation. Let's put all this in the platform here. So we're going to go to example. Okay, why am I typing it and suffering? So this is going to be example number 3. Is that okay? Example number 3, finding the price. Is that okay? Finding the price given annual yield of the company. It's not yield to maturity. Example 1 is finding the price given one yield, which is 4% or 5% or 6%. But this is actually different example. It's like investing in so many banks. So what we do here, let's just copy. This is until year 4. I got 4 children, right? So I'm going to put it here, and this is going to be year 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is finding the price, so this will be default. Year 0 shouldn't be there because we want to find the price. So how do you do this one? Well, you need to be given a cash flows here. The cash flows here is every child is given $5, $5, $5, and this is going to be $105. Is that okay? Let's get it centralized, and this is going to be the yield. The yield that I'm going to put here, it's either I can type it in or I can just multiply this separately to get the present value. What you're going to do here, it's going to be equals to 1.035 power of negative. I don't need to go and put power of 1 here because I cannot drag. So this is power of 1. So I'm just going to put it down there, and I'm going to get this one as 1.04, if I'm not mistaken. 447 and 5.5. Let's see my memory. Okay, this is to the power of negative 2, and this is going to be 1.047 to the power of negative 3, and this is going to be equals to, you can put equals to if you want to. I think it's 5 point, how much is that? 5.5%. Is it okay? 5.5%, 1.055, 5.5. Okay, power of negative. You want to put this power of negative 4, go ahead, doesn't matter. You get the same answer. If you do that, what happens is the moment you put equals to, you're going to get ugly or awful figure. Actually, it's basically like a discounting will take place, like discount factor take place. So what I'm doing here, just undo this. Let's just, sorry, not undo. Just put here as 1.055 to the power of negative 4. Is that okay? You can get the answer out, or you can just leave it as it is. So what we're going to do here is we're going to have the present value is a product of this times this. Is that okay? Product of this times this. Enter. sorry. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. Sorry, I should have done another one. Probably I need to get the yield transform. Up to you. You can transform this into the decimal values, or if you want to show the marker that this is what you did, it's also good. Or you can just do it straight away instead of doing this, or you can just put equals to in front and get the answers out like that. But okay, let me undo the thing. Okay, let me just leave it like that and just copy this into here. Okay, now I'm just going to put equals to here. I'm just going to put equals to here. Is that okay? I'm just going to put equals to here. I'm just going to put equals to here. Okay, and I'm just going to put it in 2 decimal. You don't have to do this. You can straight away show this, because when you point at this thing, you can see what's going to happen. If you point at this, you can actually see what's going to happen. So actually this one you can skip, but I'm just showing you to. Sometimes it's good, but sometimes in exam you don't have much time to show. It's up to you. If you think you got the time, you show this. Otherwise, you just stick to this. It's good enough already. So this is going to be the present value is equals to this multiplied by this, enter. And you just drag this here, and you want to push this into 2 decimals. Go ahead. And this is going to be your price, which is equals to the sum in total of all this figure. Well, get the 2 decimals out, so you're going to get 98.57. Is that okay? So this is the present value of all your future cash flows, and the yield is different. This is the annual yield for the company risk that the investors will ask for a year. Cash flow, they're going to ask 3.5% based on the government yield plus the company spread. I want you to refer back to example 5 later on to get that, how do you get the 3.5%, how do you get this, how do you get this, and how do you get this. So this is going to be example number 3, computation. Now, going back to example number 3, if somebody come and ask you how much you're getting, well, you tell the fellow, I put in Citi, I'm not sure what bank, okay, forgive me if I'm getting the wrong banks now. I put in Citibank and they're giving me for 1 year 3.5%. I put in HSBC and they're giving me 4% for a 2-year investment. And I put in Bank of America, and they're giving me 4.7% for a 3-year, kept it there for 3 years, compounded, yeah. 4.36. I kept it for 3 years compounded, and I will get $5. That's the logic of this. And this is what bank was it? I think it's Standard Chartered. I put $84 in Standard Chartered for, yeah, that I'm going to get 105. Or I am going to put this in one bank, and they're going to give me all these cash flows. This is based on the price. This is the price that we are told to find. Now, well, you can also, instead of, let's say you're rushing and you are, somebody asks you, actually how much return you're getting? Well, you can say, I get 3.5%, I got 4%, I got 4.7%. Okay, that is called, if you don't have time to explain to a layman, probably you want to talk in a simple language, you just tell him, well, I put in, I bought investment $98.57 today, and I got $5, $105. Actually, I'm getting about 5.41% per annum each year for all these cash flows. This is like yield to maturity, constant. Every year I'm getting 5.41. Okay, 5.41. So you have to find this using IRR functionality. And for doing the price, for you to find the yield to maturity, the yield, I must know the price. So if, let's say, you are given the annual yields like this in this part, and if you want to consolidate them, this is the annual yield for the company, for the risk class for the company, for this risk class. If you want to consolidate all this, you're going to consolidate this into something called yield to maturity as one yield for all the 4 years. So what we're going to do is, let's say finding YTM, which is using the IRR function. So let's copy this. I think we need all this. Yeah, let's copy all this thing here to here. Copy, paste, bold, underline. Okay, so what is this one? Now this one I should know the price. Can I just borrow this price here, because I just want to make sure it's accurate. So I'm going to get here, let's make it to 2 decimals. So let's get it in, by the way, I should put negative there. So I will choose this one. Yeah, I choose this one. Is that okay? I choose this one. And I want to make sure it's negative. So I'll put negative 98.57. Is that okay? 98.57. And I will find the yield to maturity. So let's call it YTM using the IRR function, CTION. So I'm going to have here equals to IRR, open the bracket, drag everything here, enter, convert to percentage, I think it's 2%, 5.41%. Let's get rid of all this. Okay, sorry, leave it there. You're going to get here 5.41%. Probably the examiner have used the spreadsheet function, but it's actually using the same methodology as example 2, using the calculated IRR, or you can use the spreadsheet. But when you CBE, just use the spreadsheet function. It should work well in the platform. Okay, 5.41% is going to be the return. So coming back here. So if someone asks you, what's the return you get? 3.5%, 4%. This cash flow, I'm getting 4.7%. This cash flow will be invested at 5.5 to get this. So that's what I'm going to pay today, 98.57. Now, you see what happens. If I'm going to, let's say for fun, if I'm going to find this using I'm not sure what is this figure here. Let's just get it normal. Let's get the normal thing here. I just want to make sure general. Okay. Just for fun. Did I put it here? No. Okay, I put it here. Okay. Let's say I open up this one. I just want to prove something to you now. Okay. I want to find the price. Okay. Using the yield, using the PV of the cash flows, using the PV function. Is that okay? Using the PV function, let's make it smaller. The reason why I did this is that I just want, the rate is 5.4%, okay, 5.4%. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put equals to NPV open bracket 0.054. I just want to make sure that's a little bit accurate here, just to show you something. 68, okay, enough. 68, okay, maybe 58, okay, whatever. Or you just put, okay, 2 decimals is fine. Comma, and you're going to pull this until you for close bracket, enter. When I enter this, it should be this figure. Let's make it to 2 decimal now, okay? It should be this figure. You see, I can find 98.57. If you notice from this example, what did you learn here is, if you are given the annual yield, then you can use that to find 98.57, or you can use this yield to maturity to still get 98.57. This is actually going back to example number 1 already. This is back to example number 1. So example 1 says, if I have 1 yield, I can find the price. Example 3 says, if I have annual yield like this, then I can find that price annually. So the concept is the same. It's up to you in exam. Just take note whether is it example 1 or is it example number 3. More likely it's going to be example 3 in your exam. Just to point out, okay, you can also use example 1 if you know the yield to maturity and do the calculation fast. Is that okay? Okay, so that is example number 3, and we have explained to you in great detail how the price works. Price is equals to present value of future cash flows. In the present value, you need a discount factor. The discount factor is the yield. Either you take the annual yields and or you take the yield to maturity of the company bonds. Is that okay? So that will be example 3. Next, we will move on to example number 4. Please watch the part 4 of this video next. Okay, take care and have a good day. Goodbye, everybody.